Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going to tackle making our apple pie for Thanksgiving. Again, up to the point of baking it, and then we'll throw it in the freezer until day before Thanksgiving. And I'm also going to make what's become a tradition in our house of this was introduced to us many years ago when we lived in Illinois by a, let's see if I can remember her name. Yes, by a young lady named Cindy Binkley. And she introduced us to sausage balls, sausage cheese balls. And it's real simple to make. You can make it ahead and form the dough into balls and then freeze them and put them in a bag. And they make just a really nice snack in the morning on Thanksgiving Day for the breakfast. Not too filling. You don't want to eat a big breakfast on a day when you're going to eat a lot of food in the afternoon or the evening. So it's a perfect recipe, and it has been a tradition in our house pretty much every Thanksgiving and Christmas morning since then. So we're going to make that. And in order to make that, I don't have any Bisquick in the house. So I'm going to attempt to make my own. So we'll go through that process as well together. So let me show you. I've got everything ready to go here. I've got the mat out for rolling. I've got my two crusts, one for the bottom and one for the top. And I have 2 quarts of the apples that I canned earlier. So making this pie should be, we've taken all of the work of cooking the apples and making the apples for the pie. So it's basically roll out the dough, fill it up, put the top crust on, and we're done. So one of the nice things about canning things ahead of time. So all right, I'll be back when these crusts thaw out and we're ready to make the pie. Or I'll be back when I'm ready to make the Bisquick. Okay, I'm getting ready to make this Bisquick. So in a bowl here, I have 5½ cups of all-purpose flour. And I am going to add 3/4 cups of cornstarch. 3 tablespoons of baking powder. 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, and I'm just going to whisk that around until it's all well incorporated. Alright, that should be pretty much well incorporated. The last ingredient is 1 cup of shortening or unsalted butter. So I happen to have a ton of Crisco on hand, so I'm going to go shortening. It's in the freezer right now, getting really good and chilled. So once that's done, we're going to use the food processor to cut that into this dry mixture. And we'll go from there. Then we'll bag it up and we can use it. And as soon as that's chilled, I'll be back. Alrighty, so our shortening is pretty good and chilled. So what I'm going to do, I don't think that I can get all of this into my blender. So I think I'm going to have to do half and half. Yeah, we're going to do half and half. All right, it's going to get a little bit noisy. Alrighty, let's see. I've got my other big bowl with cornbread dressing in it. So let me find something to put this in. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're going to do the other half here. Alexa, stop.
30-minute timer stopped on Michael's Echo.
Oh, stop it. Okay, so what I was looking for was for it to be kind of hold a form in it, but yet it's still dry. So we're going to go ahead and dump this back in here. Dump the rest of this back in here. And let's give it a good mix. See how it's still dry, but it holds a shape. That looks like Bisquick to me. So now we just have to get it into a bowl or into a bag to store it. Our crusts are almost ready, you guys, to roll out. Okie doke. Let me show you all something I got on the internet. You just turn these up, pop these out, sit it down. Now I'm going to put the bag in between. Put one side of the bag under this clip, one side of the bag under this clip, and looky there. It holds your bag open so that you can pour things into it. I forget where I got them. I'll look it up and see what I can find and share the link with you, because I think it came in a pack of 3 and I found them to be incredibly helpful, especially when you're, let's say you made a soup or stew and you want to put that in a bag, leftovers in a bag to freeze it. Comes in real helpful. Alrighty. And there you go, folks. We have 5.5 cups of Bisquick. Well, actually, probably a little more, because we added all those other ingredients. Alrighty, so I'm going to get busy clean up, and then when we come back, we'll roll out our pie dough, and we'll make the apple pie. Alright, y'all, we're going to roll this pie dough out here. Just a little flour to put on my pin, rolling pin. Whoa. When you're working with your pie dough, if it cracks, it's no real big problem. Just squeeze it back together and roll it. Pie dough is one of those things that seems very intimidating, but it's really not. Pie dough is very forgivable. Alright, I'm going to check this, see if it'll fit the pie plate. Yes, it will. There we go. Kitty. Pretty kitty. All right. pretty good. There's a kitty cat in here. Huh? Kitty, come on. Out. Out. Come on, Johnson. Sorry about that, folks. When I let my dog out, Chauncey's his name, when I let him out, I usually leave the door cracked open so he can get back in. And then the neighbor's cat usually gets in, which I don't mind, but this isn't her house, is it? That looks a little thin right there. Come here. And another wonderful pie crust. Gather up these scraps. All right, let's put the apple pie filling in here. There it is. I was right in my original estimation. 2 quarts per pie. Oops. Didn't intend for that to happen. I'm going to try to wipe some of this liquid off the side. And there's our apple pie filling. So now I'm going to set this over here. Alright, I'm going to put some more flour down. unwrap the second piece of dough. This is that wonderful vodka pie dough I showed you all how to make in a previous video. If you want to know more about that, just look at all my videos and you'll find it there. Now we're going to roll this one out for the top. Should do it. I'm actually going to actually put just a couple pats of butter on the top of my apples. Just to give the pie a little extra richness when it's cooking. So let's just cut off a little bit. Oh. Sorry for the noise in the background. That would be my dishwasher. There we go. Now, and there we go. Alright, and we've got to crimp these edges somehow. So we're just going to go with the old fork method. Got my Christmas music playing. I love my Christmas music. Looky there. I'm going to set that down. And I may take this excess dough and try something I haven't done in a while. See if we can get it to roll back out. Okay, get some flour. Should do. Now let me see if I can find my cutters. These are some cutters that a manager I used to work for named Martha Charenkel. She got these for me one year. And what they are is they are cutters in the shape of leaves. This one's like a maple leaf and clover leaf and other shapes. But I'm going to try the maple leaf. We're going to use these to decorate the top of the pie. Alrighty. Gonna make a simple egg wash here. There's the egg. Going to add just a little water to the egg, maybe a couple tablespoons. And whisk that all up. And I'm going to get a brush here. And we're going to put an egg wash on the pie. Just so it gets a nice shine when we bake it in the oven. Alrighty. So bring the pie back over here. And to get these to stick, just going to give them a brief egg wash. Clean my hands off here. Let me show you this decor on the pie. Isn't that just gorgeous, y'all? Some pretty maple leaves on top of the crust. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the slits and some slits in the pie so when we're baking it, steam can escape from it. Alrighty. So definitely one in the middle, one on the side here, and one over here. And maybe one here, and one. And that's it, folks, on the apple pie. Now I'm going to wrap it up real good in foil. And we're going to throw it in the freezer until Wednesday. We'll take it out and we'll bake it. Alright, I'll be back to show you how to make the sausage balls in just a bit. Alright everybody, we're going to get busy making this sausage cheese ball dough. So I'm going to show you the ingredients. We need 3 cups of Bisquick mix, either store-bought or like I made my own just a little bit. We're going to need a half a cup of milk. We're going to need a pound of sausage. I bought this one because I like to use the hot. I like them a little bit spicy. So this is hot, but you can use regular or sage, whatever you prefer. 4 cups of shredded sharp cheese, and we have a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I happen to have some left over from the other day, so I'm going to use that, and a half a teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. So this isn't really difficult. We're just going to put all the ingredients in a bowl and get the mixing. Had to run out for a bit and get some more milk. Alright, looks like we might have to break this up a little bit. Yeah. What can we do with that? It all kind of clumped together when I put it in here. Give me a moment, I'll be back. Alright, so I've got all the ingredients in the bowl. You could use a stand mixer to do this, like your KitchenAid. But I just don't want to dirty the bowl and the paddle for this, so I'm just going to use the old-fashioned mixer. And just get in here and start squeezing it all together. It'll be very, very dry looking to start out, but give that sausage time to absorb the Bisquick. Oh, Lord. That'll kill your hand, won't it? It's looking good, y'all. Just go ahead and get both hands involved here. Now that I've got most of the flour incorporated, or the Bisquick, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more milk because it's just a little dry. Get that mixed in well. Now I'm afraid I might have got it just a little too wet. But you know what you do with that? Just add a little more Bisquick. We'll let it sit for just a bit and see what we need to do. Trip to the store kind of wore me out just a little bit. Most of you probably don't know, but the last 2 or 3 days I've been suffering with a head cold, or it's either a touch of the flu. I'm thinking it was a touch of the flu because at one point I had a fever of 101.4, and the fever's finally broke in the night, and they haven't come back yet today, so hopefully I'm on the tail end of this. But I think going to the store just pushed it a little bit, and so I'm just a little bit worn out. I probably should have taken a nap today, but after feeling as good as I did when I woke up this morning, I was like, I hate to waste the time. So I'm going to set that there and clean this off a bit. This bowl here has a piece of plastic or rubber on the bottom, kind of a skid-proof thing to keep the bowl from moving on you when you're trying to mix things in it. Well, silly me, one day I had the bowl sitting over here on a burner that I don't use on the stove, and I went to bake something in the oven, and that's the vent. That's where the vent for the oven comes up through that burner, and it melted part of that bottom. So now anywhere I put that bowl, this black stuff comes off and gets on the countertop or in the sink. It's no big deal. I can wipe it off, but it's kind of humorous. Have you ever done something like that? That's something, I don't want to say it's dumb, but just something you weren't planning on. So, all right, I'll be back in a bit once this rests, and we'll see what it needs. Alrighty. Let's see. I think it'll be fine. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this cookie scoop to just scoop some of the batter. Place it on a pan. To me, when these are cooked and ready to eat, they kind of remind me of a McDonald's sausage biscuit. Not with egg and cheese and all that, just the biscuit and the patty of sausage. And I really, really enjoy that. So I've got them on the cookie sheet here. and looks like I gotta make some room in my freezer. So give me just a moment. Alright, so I'm going to get started on the second cookie sheet here. And so we're just going to wait for these to firm up a little bit in the freezer. Then we're going to pop them in a plastic bag so they're separated and won't stick to each other. And then on Thanksgiving morning, all you do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you can lightly grease the bottom and the sides of your cookie sheet, and you put the balls on the sheet and you bake them for 20 to 25 minutes until brown, and then you remove them immediately from the pan. And they're good just by themselves, or this recipe says to serve warm with sauces for dipping, like barbecue sauce or chili sauce. I've never dipped them in sauce. I like them just the way they are, but you do whatever you want to do. So, alright, that's how you make the sausage cheese balls. Try them out. You'll love them. Like I said, introduced to us many years ago, probably back in the early 80s, and been a tradition with us ever since. So enjoy. And if you do try it, drop a comment and let me know what you think. And or if you have any questions about the recipe, make sure you subscribe. If you're on the YouTube side, make sure you subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. And if you're on the Facebook side, make sure that you like the video and follow, so you get updates of all future recipes. And this week is probably going to be jam full of some interesting or some new recipes. So, alrighty, bon appetit. Remember that life is beautiful, and we'll see you in the next video. Alrighty, bye-bye.